Knew she was on there. 9:51 is our time, and joining us right now, welcome back to our show, the publisher of the TrendsJournal, Gerald Celente. Good morning, Gerald.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm well.
Good. Now, do you have an incredible memory like Mary Lou Henner? Do you remember the last time you were on this show?
No.
Okay. So you should have just said yes. It was a Monday. I'll never forget it.
I'll never forget it.
It was the day that I'll never forget. Okay.
It was the warmest day this winter. I remember it well.
Remember? See, we were talking about all that stuff. All right. I don't remember what we talked about the last time, but we were all blown away by what you were talking to us about. Okay. So how about that?
Thank you.
To the point where we want to talk to you more. So TrendsJournal, the new mega trends, I guess today we're talking about the Ukraine crisis behind the scenes. Is that right?
Well, if with anything you'd like to talk about.
I don't know. I mean, sure.
What's going on? Well, yeah, let's stay on the Ukraine.
Well, let's stay there for a second.
This is one of them. This reminds me of the days back when Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction and ties to Al-Qaeda. This is another propaganda ploy, boy. They're really pumping out a lot of BS. And the people are buying it because most people really don't look beyond the headlines and the sound bites. Oh, you're down there in Maryland, right?
Wait,
yeah.
who's pumping out?
The United States.
Okay,
I mean,
we're pumping.
And again, we outlined it all in that TrendsJournal, how they set it up with the Sochi Olympics. Okay. Remember them killing them stray dogs everywhere? Remember that one?
Yes.
Don't drink the yellow water. Hey, listen, guys, watch out for those toothpaste bombs. How could they make that one up? How about some Tampax missiles? Don't get on those planes to Sochi. You'll never know what'll happen. They started the propaganda campaign in the lead up to this Ukraine crisis like nothing I've seen before. They pulled it. They could not find anything right about the Sochi Olympics. And so what had already happened, by the way, and again, we only look at the data, by the time the Olympics began, 57% of the American people believed that there would be a terrorist strike. And the Americans' perception of Russia, again, this is just before the Sochi Olympics, had gone down to 1994 levels. So the propaganda machine was in full swing. And now what happened in Ukraine? All anyone has to do, and again, we have it all outlined, you go on YouTube, put in the name Victoria Nuland, Nuland, Assistant Secretary of State, United States. You'll see pictures of her passing out bread, along with the American ambassador, Jeffrey Pyatt, passing out bread to the protesters when they first began. Then she comes back, and she's, you can't make this one up, 2013, December, not a long time ago, at the National Press Club, saying that Ukraine is European and their path forward is the one set forth by the International Monetary Fund. And over her left shoulder, it's sponsored by Chevron, who just did a $10 billion deal with Ukraine to hydrofrack. And now we just saw in the news a couple of days ago, a guy that you guys must be familiar with, right down from your part of the world, Hunter Biden. You know that one, don't you?
No.
Yeah, Joe Biden's little boy, Hunter, sitting on the board of the largest energy company in Ukraine. They supply 10% of the energy to Ukraine. This guy, they just appointed him to his board of directors. I tell you, it's about freedom and liberty. Oh, I forgot this one. Also, anybody can look at the facts. Ketchup King Kerry, he married the Hines lady,
Right.
His stepson, Chris Hines, is a partner with this guy, Archer. He's sitting on the same board for this Ukrainian energy company. They just appointed him too. And I tell you, they picked Hunter and the Ketchup King's friend because these are the two most qualified people in the entire world. They got the credentials. Yeah, the credentials to get you to third base without waking up on first. So the whole game is rigged. This has to do with money and power.
Now, Gerald, did you see this coming? How far ahead of time did you see this happening?
Look at the TrendsJournal that when we sent you in January.
Okay.
The front cover of it was Ukraine. This is before it broke open.
When did it break open?
It started. The demonstration started in late November, early December. What happened was Ukraine had a deal going on with the European Union because, by the way, Ukraine has like the GDP of Alabama.
Okay.
And they were in terrible economic shape.
Okay.
So they needed a bailout scheme, and they were going to pull it off with the European Union.
But weren't they strategically located by the European Union? Like the location of them was perfect for this?
No, they're neighbors of Russia.
And
so Russia came in and said, I'll give you a better deal than the Europeans will give you.
Okay.
So they took the Russian deal. That's when it all broke loose.
Okay.
And again, everyone that wants to know the facts, go onto YouTube. Oh, and then there's the Victoria Nuland tape and Jeffrey Paya tape, our Ukrainian ambassador. They bugged their cell phones, and they're talking in February about the overthrow of the Yanukovych government and putting in Yats. That's the word, Yats. That's Yatsenyuk. That's the guy that's in there now. This is an illegitimate government. Ukraine governments have been corrupt since the breakup of the Soviet Union. So we're not defending anybody. By the way, I'm speaking now from colonial Kingston, New York. This is the first capital of New York State. This is where, it's the foundation of the revolution. Part of it's over here. And every one of the founding fathers, the 1777 Senate House is here, the most historic four corners in the United States, only place with pre-Revolutionary War stone buildings. Every one of the founding fathers, Washington's farewell address, no foreign entanglements. Franklin, Adams, Madison, every one of them. Now I got some guy or some woman from Harvard, a Princeton, a Yale, some neocon wacko telling me, oh no, our place is to become strategically involved in Ukraine. Strategically involved in Ukraine means sending someone's kid to get their brains blown out or legs blown off or come back in a casket. So they're setting us up for another war, as I look at it. And I'm in favor of what the founding fathers believed in. No foreign entanglements.
Should we go help these girls that have been abducted?
No. Again, you have the TrendsJournal. One of the stories we did was on Nigeria. We picked the four corners of the world where there were problems going on. There's a totally corrupt country. Oh, by the way, you know how they got those weapons? These groups, these radical groups? That was from the brilliant scheme. We got a humanitarian mission over there in Libya. You remember that one? We got to save them peoples. Now the whole place is destroyed. Gaddafi kept these crazy people in check. Now they got all the weapons. Nigeria is corrupt from top to bottom. They're one of the highest oil producers in Africa. They've got 20 billionaires, and most of the people are 40% of the people are living under $1 a day.
Yeah, the disparity between the top and the bottom is ridiculous there. Yeah.
So what's happening over there? Yeah, you get these crazy groups, radical groups. Yeah. Hey, you want to talk about helping girls? Go 15 blocks from the White House or 12 blocks from where anybody lives, and you can see poor girls really in need of help in this country. Look at the poverty levels. Look what's going on over here. And we're going to get involved in another country. Oh, yeah, you're going to fix it really fine.
But do you think we're going to get involved?
I think we're going to. We are getting involved in Africa because they're putting the AFRICOM unit in there. It's another military move into Africa. It's about oil. It's about natural resources, and there's excuses, just like there was an excuse with Libya.
Okay.
And Libya was Libya had the finest sweet crude on the planet, just about, and a major producer. You think we would have gone to Iraq if their major export was broccoli and they weren't sitting on the world's second largest oil reserves?
We need to, we're out of time, but we need to talk with Gerald more often. You've got some time on your hands for us?
Oh, sure, yeah. Just get a hold of our guy and we'll set something up.
Perfect.
No, because, you bring a lot of light, and I think it's interesting. It's interesting we get to do an interview and just sit back and listen for a while.
Well,
we don't normally get that. Gerald Celente, again, TrendsJournal, You can find it online. Is it just TrendsJournal.com?
TrendsJournal.com.
And it's always enlightening. I will say that
Thanks
much.
so much for having me, guys. All the best.
Thanks, Gerald.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.